r/legal advice. Mangorian2 says, my mail carrier refuses to deliver my packages and won't tell me why. If you need to know where I live, I'll add it, but I feel like with the USPS being a federal agency, that won't apply. Lem know if I'm horribly wrong. My mail carrier refuses to deliver my packages and won't tell me why. He leaves a slip in my mailbox that says no safe area to leave package. My building has a mail room where packages are delivered every day by USPS, FedEx, Amazon and UPS. I have confirmed with multiple neighbors on multiple floors that this exact same mail carrier delivers their packages to the same mail room all the time. So I asked him about it. I was friendly, even charming. He just shrugged and didn't answer. So I went to the post office, talked with his supervisor, and she said there wouldn't be more problems. Unfortunately, he still won't deliver packages to me. He still delivers my neighbor's packages, but not mine. I've watched him do this several times and I can say with certainty that he doesn't even bring my packages off his truck. Just writes the slip, puts it in my mailbox and walks away. I confronted him about it again, asking why. He wouldn't deliver the packages. This time he said it was because he was legally liable for it if the package was stolen. I looked it up, and I found nothing to suggest that he's liable for the theft of my package, unless he steals it himself. A while later, I caught him in the lobby of my building again, and I told him I know you're not liable for theft. Why aren't you delivering to me really? He then told me that, if he can verify that I'm not home, he is not obligated by law to deliver the package. So he calls our number on the buzzer, and if we don't pick up, he concludes we aren't home and reserves his right to not deliver to us. The thing is, the buzzer goes to my wife's phone and she always answers and hits the key to let whoever into the building, expecting it to be a package or something. My wife and I have checked the phone records against when we know he's refused to deliver, and we know she's let him in multiple times. A week later, I called USPS customer service and left a complaint. I got a case number, etc. Then, I see him the next day, and he tells me, unprompted, you have to stop asking questions. I'm never going to change how I deliver. So I just simply asked why not deliver to me though. And he laughed at me, then walked away. A few days later, USPS calls me back and says that they spoke with my mail carrier's supervisor and she assured them that the issue had already been resolved. I told them that I'm still waiting on a package, and they told me the mail carrier would leave it the next day. He didn't, and I'm feeling like I'm stuck at square one. He just left another slip, this time without marking a reason why he didn't deliver it. And there's a USPS package addressed to someone else in my building right next to my mailbox. What am I supposed to do at this point? How do I get my packages delivered? I can't think of anything I might have done to piss this guy off at all. I've never interacted with him until I started having this issue with him not delivering my packages. From what I have asked, no one else in my building talks to him either. I don't want to get this guy fired or start a whole thing with the USPS. Whatever the real reason is behind him not delivering to me, I really don't care. I just want my packages to be delivered. Update: I got a call from the supervisor at the post office telling me that she spoke with the carrier and trusts his discretion, that the location is not a suitable place to deliver mail. I told her that he delivers to other people in my building just fine. She said I can't speak to the delivery status of the other people in your building. All I know is that the carrier assures me your mailroom is an unsafe place to leave packages, and I trust him. Further up this annoying flagpole I go. Update 2, the OIG called and said that the mail carrier's supervisor told them that the issue had been resolved. I explained the situation to them, and I was told that nothing more could be done on their end. I feel like it's weird for them to respond so quickly. To the congressional office I go. I'll call my congressperson and ask for a caseworker now. Update 3, a congressional inquiry has been sent to the USPS. Was pretty easy to get a hold of them and get them to understand and act on the issue. IDK how long until I hear something, but I kinda have to put all my hopes on this for now. Will take pics of other USPs delivered packages in my building for now. I've had a few people message me and ask for another update. I went to the post office to try and make my case in person. The supervisor came out and told me that if I wrote a letter to the mail carrier telling him that if my package is stolen, I won't blame him at all, then it'll be okay and he'll deliver them without any more hassle. I feel like I'm out of my mind for considering it. She said to just address it to the post office care his name. I'm so ed up over this now lol. Why do I have to write a letter saying I don't blame him? What's happening? IDK, I guess we'll. Jester29 says. USPS calls me back and says that they spoke with my mail carrier's supervisor and she assured them that the issue had already been resolved. Follow up with the postmaster and USPS support, since clearly it hasn't. Mangorian2 says. I tried to do that, but they told me my case has been resolved and I'd have to open a new one. So I have done that, but it'll be a few more days before they call me back. Edit, they called me back within the hour actually lol. Update is in the post. Wahinda just says. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Open a new case every time they close the old one until you get an actual resolution. Kurt Ludwig says. Go speak to the postmaster. Stop caring if your postman gets fired. If he won't deliver to you, there is almost certainly somebody else he won't deliver to and thus needs to be removed from his position. Quote the Maven says. Call your congressperson's district office and ask to speak to the caseworker who handles postal issues. Assuming they run a competent office, you won't get blown off and this will probably get things fixed pretty quick. Cultural ad 6342 says. This is the right solution. Most likely you can report it at their website. This is faster and the staffers are on top of it. Shrek on a bike says. Open a ticket every time. Even if you have a ticket opened already. Open a new one for each incident. Include the ticket numbers from every incident. Call and keep asking for a supervisor until you get it resolved. Take the ticket info and visit your local postmaster daily until it is resolved. Mangorian2 says. At this point I feel like being the squeaky wheel is the only way I'll get it done. Just be too annoying to ignore. Snurpler Gang says. Please don't be afraid of getting him fired. Based on your experience, he needs to be fired. There seems to be no legitimate reason for him to treat you this way, and bad employees need to be let go if they refuse to change bad behavior. r/legal advice. Lord Amaranthus says. Felon sister trying to steal assets, mainly a car, that my name is on after mom passed away. Mom didn't have a will and I don't have 5k to drop on speaking to a lawyer. What are my options? Carrot, I need some serious help, and this is one of the only places I could think to turn to. I apologize in advance, because I'm grieving, and my brain is working poorly. Carrot, I'm here because most lawyers in my city won't even speak to you unless you have a minimum of $5,000 to deposit. I'm in the southern tip of Nevada, specifically. // I have the car title with both my mom and I on it. We did this with the assistance of the car dealership. Car is fully paid off, as well as the DMV, in order to ensure that my felon sister would not be able to take the vehicle. She was unfortunately the one who found mom passed away, so she ran her pockets, drained her accounts, and took her car key. She is trying to tell me that my mom sold her the car a month ago and forgot to tell me, and that she C's reported the title missing and is waiting for a new one with her C's name on it. Note, the car would never have been sold to her, period. especially since my sister has multiple records of driving while intoxicated. She has repeatedly robbed our mother of money, jewelry, and prescription medications on numerous occasions, and has effectively been disowned. But our elderly mom didn't want to get on her bad side because she was afraid of her. She thought my Cs might try to do something to her. We both have keys to her app in case of emergency, but Cs lives one street away from mom, whereas I live one city away. In any case, I'm rummaging through an envelope my mom gave me before she passed, because we both knew this would happen. She said there were important documents in it, and I would need them to prove the car is mine after she passes. I have the car title. I have a secure power of attorney signed by my mom, though I don't really understand it. I have the dealer's report of sale of the car to my mom, late dad is on it. Unfortunately, my sister has the car key in the car. I have reason to believe she is forging documents, such as bill of sale, registration, etc. She is knowledgeable about criminal activities and well connected. Whereas I'm not. I'm stressed and lost, and my mom intended that to be a gift to me for after she passed on and no longer needed it, as I do not have a vehicle of my own. I will be filing a police report in the morning. TL. Doctor, sister stole deceased mother's keys and vehicle. Mom was prepared and got me on the title. Sister lying and saying it's hers and trying to put it in her name by forgery or some other criminal means. What are my options? Thanks. Disastrous Garlic 36 says, I will be filing a police report in the morning. This is the answer. Weatherman says, if there are two people on the title and one of them dies, the surviving title holder is a sole owner by law. So yes, file a police report and report the car stolen. That said, it could be more complicated. If your sister is claiming the car was sold to her, you may need to address that. Of course she would have to prove that the car was sold to her, and the best way would be title or bill of sale, which she does not have. But another factor is this power of attorney that you have. Was your mother incapacitated in some way, unable to make her own decisions? If so, then she would be incapable of selling the car, and you would be the only one who could do that. You will have to understand this power of attorney to show that, if it comes to that, since the alleged sale of the car predates your mother's death. After her death, things become a little more complicated, but not in relation to the car, because if you can show that the car was not sold, you are the owner, and that's the end of the argument until the issue of inheritance is dealt with. Did your mother leave a will? Did she exclude your sister from that will? Did she name you executor of her estate? If yes, you're in good shape. If not, you have some complications in front of you. If there was no will, or your sister was not excluded from the will, then she may have a right to part of the value of the car, not the car itself, but some portion of its value. In other words, if the car is worth $5k and you and your sister are the only children, then she might be entitled to $2,500 worth of that car, paid out by the estate, or by you, if you don't want to sell the car. But this is only if the car would be considered a pre-inheritance gift that would come out of your share of the estate. This would be a matter that some lawyers might get involved with if there is no will, or the will does not exclude your sister. Things do get more complicated from there if there is no will. You would have to get appointed the executor and then deal with the assets, which would include, presumably, an equal distribution between you and your sister. You'd have to get access to your mom's assets and accounts, etc. It would be a rough couple of months dealing with this, I know, I've been through it. If you do need legal advice and can't afford a lawyer, check with Nevada Legal Services, who may be able to provide you guidance or connect you to a pro bono attorney. Also check with Unlove Law School to see if any of their law student clinics can provide. AutumnBobby23 says, now, but a title clerk that processes for NV. Make the police report, that's important. Based on your post, you have the title and you are listed as an owner. So you can take the title, her death certificate, and the police report to the DMV closest to you, and explain the situation with the documentation. They should be able to help you with retitling the vehicle into your name, and tell you what else you may need if you're missing something. Unless your sister has some physical proof of her ownership, then she would then be in possession of your stolen vehicle and you can get it back. Edit, spelling. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.